The next Dharma snack. Why are we here, right? What brought us to mindfulness? We have some survey results. Thank you all for doing the surveys. So 72% came originally or are interested in mindfulness to meet life's challenges more effectively. And really what that means is to meet our own suffering more effectively. Life has challenges, it's true, but it's how we deal with our discomfort with those challenges that's most important, right? It's not really life, it's like here, right? 72% of us came to enhance emotional well-being and helping with stress. So those are the top three. One of the other questions was, what are we most interested in? We've got self-compassion, 80% self-compassion. Daily activities is interesting. You'll have all this time to practice those informal activities that Matt taught you about, so you get a chance to practice mindfulness with daily activities. 70% said they wanted techniques. I think that's awesome because you're going to learn some. And managing difficult emotions, right? And then we have what we want from this retreat. Compassion, top of the list, compassion. To deepen my existing practice. That's beautiful, right? And better emotional health, right? And it's so interesting that self-compassion and compassion in general is a top contender here. By its very nature, when we long for compassion, it's in response to suffering, right? All the ways that we're hard on ourselves, judge ourselves, pressure ourselves, and self-compassion is an antidote to that, right? And it's an antidote to stronger forms of suffering, despair, loneliness, hopelessness, anger, sadness. Compassion and suffering go together. And there's a lot of suffering these days, and compassion is needed. So we'll get to do some self-compassion tomorrow. This evening we'll talk about those pressures that we put on ourselves to be better, the self-improvement addiction, and how that addiction can follow us on retreat, right? Tomorrow we'll do that self-compassion. So, we all want to feel better. We want to meet life's difficulties more effectively. We want to suffer less, right? And we use suffering to refer to anything that's not well-being. I know it's a kind of a dramatic word, suffer, but we're suffering when we're just kind of resentful of something, or we're just like, oh, I don't like that. Anything that's not well-being, we call suffering here. All right, so just to, some semantics. And, compassion is an antidote to all forms of human suffering. So, so we're here to suffer less and to maybe find some compassion. That would be kind of the synthesis of what everyone said. But look, it's one thing to recognize why we're here, what we're yearning for, but it's another thing to try to use that practice to get that thing. Because that actually works against us, trying to get the relief you seek by using the practice. Because it's a kind of striving, and it's kind of insidious, this striving thing that happens. So there was some really interesting research, 2022, out of a university in New York, where they studied the meditation practice of about 100 people. And about half of them said that they meditated to manage difficult feelings and eliminate stress. That sounds good, right? I think I started that way. Anybody come to, seems like some of us came to mindfulness for that. But the other folks said that they started meditation to be better at opening up and accepting whatever thoughts and feelings may arise. Well, that sounds good too, right? I kind of like that. They both sound good, right? Anyone think they know who is not currently reading my book? Which group actually got all the traditionally accepted benefits? Group A, raise your hand if you think the stress people. I don't want to have stress people. No? What about group B? Raise your hand. Yeah. The second group got the benefits. They experienced less anxiety, fewer worries, less depression, better self-awareness, right? Those who meditated to eliminate or change difficult feelings, they didn't get the benefits. So the intention behind this work we do matters. It matters. So when our intention is to be able to open up to experience, rather than change it, block it, or push it away, right? We get the ease and freedom we seek. Yeah. So let's think about how that might be, right? So let's say you're trying to make unpleasant thoughts and emotions go away or stop. Stop. You're really causing a logjam in the natural flow of experience, right? Because most of you know when you think about it, even new folks, that thoughts and emotions come and go. They're impermanent, right? And when we don't get in the way of that, when we don't dam up the river of our experience by trying to stop it, our difficult thoughts and emotions arise and pass unimpeded. They arise and pass unimpeded, and so we suffer less, right? So new students, we use this word resistance to refer to this habit of making a problem of our experience. So thoughts, emotions, physical sensations, I don't want this, I don't want to feel this way, I don't want to think this way, right? So we call that resistance, all right? And right now, we're not talking about resisting or making a problem of the world outside you. We're here to do work inside of us, right? The world outside, there's really big problems, and sometimes we have to resist, right? But we have to resist without inner resistance. So here, we're working on our inner resistance to how things are. So fundamentally, we're talking about this tendency to not want to have the emotions, thoughts, or physical sensations we're in fact already having. So that sets the stage for friction, right? So you're already having, let's say, emotions, but at the same time you're resisting it, friction. That's suffering right there. So when we resist to make a problem of experiences, we don't get more resilient to them, right? We actually get weaker. We need to increase our stress resilience, not weaken it. And by increasing our stress resilience, we don't mean not having difficult thoughts and emotions. We mean being with them without being toppled by them. Being with them without being toppled by them, yeah? And then you'll also hear us use the word clinging, possibly more than resistance, in reference to the cause of suffering as well. So you already heard during the refuges, it's really both and. We resist what's unpleasant, and we cling to or seek out what's pleasant. So they're flip sides of the same coin. So another quality of the heart and mind. So remember that word investigation, how I said it twice. Investigation, one quality, important. Another quality of heart and mind that can nurture our practice is non-resistance and its cousin, non-clinging. So we might combine these two into the word acceptance, right? A critical part of what we do is to 100% accept what's happening right now in you, not in the world, in you. And it sounds simple to say that, right? But not so much, and especially not on retreat. I mean, how many of you who have been on retreats have set the intention to practice with acceptance on previous retreats, like 100% acceptance, what happens on retreat, and then found yourself experiencing a multitude of resistance and clings? Anyone? Like, yeah, all right. So it's not easy, and if you're newer, know that there will be resistance and clings. clings. So a quote from the Buddha, you may not get what you're seeking so much, but you may lose or let go of things that have been an obstacle to your happiness. And by obstacle, we're talking about resistance and clinging. Yeah. So that was why we're here, and moving to the next Dharma snack.